Welcome back to Dummy Boy Finance. I'm Dummy Boy, and before we get into the video today, I want to go over something that one of my loyal subscribers has brought up to me. There's someone in my comments that is using my display picture and they're using the @name pinned by Dummy Boy Finance. This is not me. This is a troll. This is somebody that is trying to do something in the comments, but I want you guys to know that that is not me. So if you guys see that, either report the user, block the comments, or whatever, because that has nothing to do with me. And I apologize to anybody who has been somehow affected by this situation. And so enough of that. In this video, I want to go over the cryptos that we've been watching because we've seen a major sell-off in all of our cryptocurrencies. So I want to go over that right now. So right now we're looking at Ethereum over the Canadian dollar. You guys know, if you've been following me, that Ethereum is my favorite play on crypto. And so our sell-off continues here on Ethereum. We're down 13%. And a lot of our sell-off continues because countries are pushing for crypto bans. And in specific, I'm talking about China. And so when you're looking at decentralized currencies, you need to understand that to get this to happen, you need to overthrow the government, and the government needs to be on board. But if the currency is decentralized, that means that the actual power is not in the government's hand anymore. And if you're looking at a country like China that only runs through the government and the government has to have the power, then you know that crypto was going to take a hit, because eventually the news and the bans were going to catch up with it. And so that is why I was never so big on crypto in the first place. I just believe right now, yes, if you are early enough to get into crypto, you will make some money. But for the long term, there are still so many things that people need to figure out about how crypto is going to be utilized in our world. Again, we still have regulation issues, and decentralized currency means less power for governments and less control of us. And so I don't think that is going to be an easy battle for crypto investors to have. And so right now we are starting to see the backlash of a lot of the stuff coming out of China. So the first thing that I want to go over on Ethereum chart is our accumulation over distribution. We have seen continued accumulation on this coin. And so if we match up on May 12th, our accumulation over distribution as well as our coin's price, you could see that we've had a huge sell-off relative to a pretty minor distribution. In fact, we've actually seen a lot of that accumulation come back here at the end of May at this point in time. And so overall, crypto is getting a crackdown right now, and that's the best way to put it. There is just too much uncertainty because of the fact that it is decentralized and the regulations still have to be made. On top of that, what is going to happen once the digital dollar comes out, when the digital yuan comes out, if each country continues to form its own digital currency? I do believe those are going to be great opportunities to buy the dip on crypto. I believe that now we are actually going to be forced to figure out a solution because there's so much money in this specific security, speaking of Bitcoin and Ethereum, that this is going to be a real world problem that we're going to have. And so if we don't figure out the solutions, this is going to lead to a lot of other detrimental effects for the economy. And so I do believe crypto will have a lot brighter skies ahead of it at some point in time. But this is just that fear that is going to stick on investors, that are going to force them to sell or test their patience. And so if you believe in crypto, then use this time to buy up these dips. We're seeing Ethereum back at 2,400. We haven't seen this price in April. I do still think we will fall off even more. I do think this is just the beginning of our fall off. I do think at this 200-day SMA, we may bounce up, get a sympathy bounce. But I do believe at the very least, we get down to around this 2,000 level. I believe at this 2,000 level, it would be a great idea to get back into Ethereum as a starter play. However, don't be surprised to see the price action get even as low as this 1,600 line. So I think this would be the last level where Ethereum would go. I can't see it getting below this point, because if we get below this point, then we would be looking at potential tests of below 1,000. And so I do think that is a major sell-off if that was to happen. Looking at our charts, I don't think it will get to that point, which is why I have two levels of support that are great opportunities to buy the dip here in Ethereum. And so anytime you can get any security at its 200-day SMA, you do know you are getting it at a pretty nice bargain relative to where it could be. So instead of buying all the way up here above all of its SMAs, when you're at the 200, this is like the last level of defense. And yes, the price can go below that point, but your risk to reward is a lot favorable if you are buying at the 200 instead of buying somewhere up here above everything. And so when I look at the SMA, I do think this is going to be a nice level of support for the short term, but I do think the price in the long term can get as low as these points. So if you're looking to get into Ethereum, look for the $2,000 level and look for the $1,600 level. And again, this is on the Canadian dollar. The next coin I want to cover is Ripple over the Canadian dollar. So we're currently down 13% right now. You guys remember I was tracking out this little triangle pattern. We did break out. We did call for a buy signal right here on Ripple. We had a massive run. We knew that we were going to get a pullback, and now here we are. And so for looking at the price of Ripple down below its 200-day SMA, I do believe that Ripple will get down to the 71 cents, 72 cents level, which is a major level of support that used to be a major level of resistance. So when Ripple started to make its move up, you could see we had some price action above this point. We had lots of rejections on this level. We had support up here. We had some rejections here. We blew past this point, and now we are looking to find some support on this level. I do think if you can get Ripple at this level at around 71 cents, this would be a great time to be getting in. Same thing on our accumulation over distribution. We still have very strong accumulation. So at some point we are going to see a reversal, and it may be very quick. And so at this point, Ripple is still a pretty good buy at these prices, but I do think you could get it even better at around 71, 72 cents. Last but not least, I want to go over Bitcoin over the Canadian dollar, down 9%. Same thing, we are finding very nice support along our 200-day SMA, but now we actually broke below this point. And so the fact that we broke below this point means that we will test newer lows here on Bitcoin. We are creating a head and shoulders. When you create this type of pattern, we will start to see the price action go down. I have a price target here of Bitcoin at around 24,000, and where I get that line is right here. This would be a critical level of support for Bitcoin to hold. Yes, this is a fairly deep drop if we get to this point, and also we do have a gap to fill right here at around 30,000. So I think these are our first two levels that we are looking at to find some support here on Bitcoin. First would be around at this 30,000 level, and then at this 24,000. And so I think this would be the first level to start buying, and then over here is where you'd want to load up the boat. So I wanted to make a quick little video on all of our cryptos because I haven't made one in a while. So if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like. We are on the road to 10K subs, so if you made it to this point, feel free to hit that subscription button. This is Dummy Boy Finance. I'm Dummy Boy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.